Hey there, this is Todd with Industrial Comfort. I have a beautiful piece of butternut here that a wonderful woman out of Bridgewater, Vermont gave me. Now this barn board came from a barn that used to house President Calvin Coolidge's horses. Absolute true story. In fact, I used the same board a few months ago to turn a spatula, and I'll put a link in the description if you haven't seen that video. So today I'm taking a break from the lathe here, and I'll show you how to make these river coasters from epoxy resin and this butternut board. Let's get it done. I start by cutting a 25-inch by 5-inch piece from the board, which will match the dimensions of the mold. I then loosely sketch a river pattern on the board, which I'll take over to the bandsaw and use as a guide to cut the river. Once I cut the first pass, I'll then go back and take a second pass paralleling the first cut. The next step is to mix up some resin. For this project I'm using Total Boat Deep Pour, which I'm going to mix with some mint pigment. Before I pour the resin, I place the wood into the mold, creating an empty river that will be filled by the resin. You'll also want to make sure that you clamp the wood into the mold to prevent it from floating once you do your pour. I pour the resin very slowly and carefully into the open void of the river in the mold, trying not to flood the wood. It's a lot easier to plane the wood down as opposed to the resin once the project has cured. Now we're going to let this sit based on the manufacturer's recommendations to cure, which in this case is about 48 to 72 hours. The resin's fully cured, so I remove the clamps, take over to my workbench, flip over, and hammer the backside with a mallet to get the form to release. I bring over to the table saw to cut the form down to size, which in this case is going to be 4 1/4 inches wide. This step also serves to get rid of any resin that has collected on the outside of the wood. I'm then going to bring it over to the planer to remove any of the excess resin that has flooded either on the top and or bottom. Before I take this slab of wood over to the miter saw to cut into the individual coasters, I'm going to run it through the router against the long edge using a roundover bit. Now that I've cut the individual coasters, I'll bring back to the router to route the end grain using the same roundover bit. Now that the individual coasters have been cut and routed, it's time to sand. I'm going to wet sand from 400 grit up to 1000 grit. The higher the grit, the shinier your epoxy is going to look. I'm not going to film the entire process because it's a very lengthy one. During the process of wet sanding, the wood absorbed quite a bit of water, so I clean the coasters off and I'm going to let them dry out before proceeding to the next step. We've come to the final step, and absolutely my favorite step, which is applying either mineral oil or walnut oil to really bring these coasters to life. I mean, you can just see the grain structure and the epoxy just start to pop. Now, in this particular case, I decided to use walnut oil because it creates more of a hardened finish as opposed to mineral oil, which technically doesn't dry. So with mineral oil, as you wash and maintain the coasters, the oil would begin to dissipate and wear off. And so this allows for a more durable finish using walnut oil. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks for watching.